daar en welkom bij een nieuwe video van SociaTaal. In this video we are going to learn about the verb stem and how to find the stem of a verb. This is important because if we want to conjugate a verb, we first need to know the verb stem. A verb in Dutch is called werkwoord. To conjugate a verb, we first need to know the verb stem. We then take that stem and make some additions to it to conjugate the verb. So how do we find the verb stem? For this, we first need to know what an infinitive verb is. An infinitive verb is the basic form of a verb without an inflection binding it to a particular subject or tense. For example, to work, to play, to bake, and to choose are English infinitive verbs. In Dutch, these translates to werken, spelen, bakken, and kiezen. And as you can hear, we don't use the te or to before the infinitive verb in Dutch. So to work in Dutch will just be werken. The first step we take when reverting to the stem is subtracting en from the infinitive verb. So we then have werk, spel, bak, and kies. Now this is what we call our crude stem. We get to the crude stem by subtracting en from the infinitive verb. So if we want to go from the crude stem to the final stem, there are these three rules we need to keep in mind. Long vowel infinitive verbs need long vowel stems. A stem never ends in two identical consonants. A stem never ends in a V or Z. Now let's have a closer look at each of these rules by checking the crude stems we just made. Werken becomes werk. Werken is a short vowel infinitive. The E is pronounced short in both the infinitive verb and the stem. Werken, werk. As you can hear, the pronunciation of the E did not change. So rule 1 does not apply. Werk does end in a double consonant, but these are not double identical consonants. So rule 2 does not apply. And then werk does not end in a V or Z, so rule 3 does not apply. So the infinitive verb werken becomes werk. And this is the crude stem, and the crude stem is equal to the final stem. Spelen becomes spel. And now you can hear that the vowel length did change. Spelen, spel. And this is not allowed because now the stem can have a different meaning. And in this case it does, because spel already is the stem from the verb spellen, which means to spell, as in spell your first name, for example. Therefore, we add an extra E to spell and then we pronounce it speel again. So rule 1 does apply. Now, how do you know if an infinitive verb is pronounced with a long or short vowel? This has to do with the syllable. If the syllable ends in an open vowel, the pronunciation is long. So our verb spelen in syllables will be spelen. The verb spellen in syllables will be spellen. Or if you want an easy fix, just check if the infinitive has one consonant between the two vowels or two. So one consonant is pronounced long, spelen, and two consonants is pronounced short, spellen or werken. Now, speel does not end in a double identical consonant, nor does it end in a V or Z. So rule 2 and 3 do not apply. Kiezen becomes kies. I and E make E, and it's a vowel combination. Here the vowel length does not change, so rule 1 does not apply. Kies doesn't end on a double identical consonant, so rule 2 does not apply. But kies ends on a Z, and our verb stem can't end on a Z or V. Therefore, we change Z to S and V to F. So kies becomes kies with an S. As in most languages, we have irregular verbs in Dutch too. For most of the verbs, we can just use the rules that we just learned. But for example, for the verb komen, our stem will be kom. And as you can hear, it is short pronounced. These irregular verbs are good to note down, but in the end, you just have to learn them by heart, and you can do so by practicing a lot of Dutch. Okay, top. Time to practice. Whenever you learn new grammar, it's important to practice a lot so you will remember and understand it better. Here are 4 infinitive verbs and I want you to find the stem. Also, if you want to practice more, you can become a SociaMember. Check the link in the description for more information. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video and you've learned something new. If you like this video, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. And as I always say, tot de volgende keer.